for such animals are true. Okay, so they are asking you to choose the true statements. Now the first one, read the first one. They have dark color and high rate of reproduction and excrete solid urine. Is it so? No, they will excrete. Yes, that is, they have dark color and high rate of reproduction and excrete solid urine. So I told you the urine and feces of these organisms are like concentrated. Okay, fine. And second one, they do not drink water, breathe at a slow rate to conserve water, and have their body covered with thick hair. The fourth one, they feed on dry seeds and do not require drinking water. They excrete very concentrated urine and do not use water to regulate the body temperature. So which two of the above statements for such animals are true? Statement 1 is wrong. Okay. Statement 2, they do not drink water, breathe at a slow rate to conserve water, and have their body covered with thick hair. Will they have thick hair? Only the polar regions, the animals living in polar regions, they will have thick hair or thick fur. Okay. So they will have thick skin, not thick hair. So the second statement is also wrong. Third one, they feed on dry seeds and do not require drinking water. Yes, the third statement is correct. Then the fourth one, they excrete very concentrated urine and do not use water to regulate body temperature. Yes, this statement is also correct. Okay. So the correct answer for this one is option C. Option C is the right answer for the first question. Right. Now we can move on to the second question. Yes, read the second question. Quercus species are the dominant component. Actually, this is not in your syllabus, but anyways, you just know the answer. The options given are scrub forest, tropical rainforest, temperate deciduous forest, and alpine forest. The correct answer is temperate deciduous forest. Okay, it is not in your book, so you need not to worry. Now, third question you can try. You can try the third question. See, a country with a high rate of population growth took measures to reduce it. The figure, there was a figure given, and this figure below shows the age-sex pyramid of population A and B 20 years apart. Select the correct interpretation about them. Okay, so this is a 2009 question. See, you can see the figure, that is the age-sex pyramid of population A, and the second one is age-sex pyramid of population B. By just reading the four options, tell which is the correct interpretation regarding to the pyramid A and pyramid B. First, look at the pyramid properly. You just observe the pyramid A and pyramid B. Then you read out all the four statements given, interpretation given for this. Then you choose the correct answer. Yes, very good. One student has given the correct answer. Surya, you are correct. Your answer is correct. What about others? Take your time, no problem. Observe the pyramid properly and then give your answer. Chiranjeevi, answer is wrong. Mohan, answer is wrong. Darshan Kumar, answer is wrong. Please observe the pyramid properly. Stanley, yeah, your answer is correct. Raksha, Akilan, no, answer is wrong. Gautam, answer is wrong. Balaji, answer is wrong. Please observe it properly and then please try to answer. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, let me tell you the correct answer. The correct answer is option D. See, you just observe the pyramid A. Okay, so in pyramid A, that is, these are age. Okay, 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29. So based on the age, they have given like this. So this unshaded part is male and the shaded part represents female. Okay, so black color shaded part is female population, and this white color part is male population, and age they have mentioned from 0, that is pre-reproductive, to up to post-reproductive, they have mentioned the age, right? Now you just observe these two pyramids. Yeah, see, what can you observe is this first one given as B is the earlier pyramid and shows stabilized growth rate. Is it showing the stabilized growth rate? B is more recent, showing that the population is very young. A is the earlier pyramid and no change has occurred in the growth rate. A is more recent and shows slight reduction in the growth rate. Yes, it is correct. D option is correct. Okay. See, there is a slight reduction in the growth rate, ma. That's what you can observe very easily. Fine. So D is the right answer for this question. It is not A, B, or C. Okay. Now, just to see the fourth question. Which one of the following is most appropriately defined? This is one AAPMT question. Host is an organism which provides food to another organism. Amensalism is a relationship in which one species is benefited where other is unaffected. Predator is an organism that catches and kills other organism for food. Parasite is an organism which always lives inside the body of other organism and may kill it. Now you have to see the correct appropriately defined statement, the most appropriately defined. All the four statements look similar, in the sense they seem to be correct. Okay, but you have to choose the most appropriately defined one. Choose the most appropriately defined one. Yes, give your answers for the fourth question. Yes, some are giving me the correct one and some are giving me the wrong one. Yeah, so I'll tell you the correct answer is option C. See, I will tell you why the other statements are wrong. Host is an organism which provides food to another organism. Only provide food, it provides food and shelter. I told you, no, that is free meals and free lodging. So it cannot be the appropriate statement. B, amensalism is a relationship in which one species is benefited, one species is harmed, while the other will be neutral. So B statement is totally wrong. Go to the D statement. Parasite is an organism which always live inside the body of other organism and may kill it. Okay. So it may see parasite, no, it might cause disease. You cannot say it will 100% kill. Okay. C is the one with predator is an organism that catches and kills other organism for food. Okay. The term host is also used for the organism which provides food to another organism, but it is not a general term. Okay, that's the thing. So since it is specific to parasitic interrelationship only, this predator, this C option is the correct option for this fourth question. Okay, so we'll go to the fifth question. Yeah, now see the fifth one. Here is the fifth question. Study the four statements A to D given below and select the two correct ones out of them. A lion eating a deer and a sparrow feeding on grain are ecologically similar in being consumers. Predator starfish disaster helps in maintaining species diversity of some invertebrates. Predators ultimately lead to the extinction of prey species. Production of chemicals such as nicotine, strychnine by the plants are metabolic disorders. The two correct statements. Choose the two correct statements for the fifth question. Yeah. Can you give your answers? The two correct statements. Option B is wrong. Yes, one student has given me the correct answer. Yes, 2, 3. Okay, fine. Let me tell you. First read all the four statements. We'll see which are correct and which are wrong. Option A. A lion eating a deer and a sparrow feeding on grain are ecologically similar in being consumers. Are they ecologically similar? Lion is a carnivore. Here, feeding on grain, sparrow is a herbivore. They are not ecologically similar. Okay. They belong to, this is said to be a herbivore and this is said to be a carnivore. So this is primary consumer and lion is a secondary consumer. Okay. So first one is wrong. Second one, predators, starfish. Actually, predators, predators always maintain the species diversity in a community. by reducing the population intensity, that is the competition among the prey species, right? And Pisaster fish, no, in intertidal zone of American, it will be present in the intertidal zone of American Pacific coast. So here the statement is predator starfish Pisaster helps in maintaining species diversity of some invertebrates. So this is Pisaster is a fish and it is not a starfish. Okay. Then predators ultimately lead to the extinction of prey species. Yeah, predators ultimately, no, in all cases predators will not lead to the extinction of prey species, right? So predators, no, they are said to be like sometimes in a very rare case, I told you one situation, only if they overexploit means they are exploiting the prey species for a large manner, then it will causes extinction, unless it will not causes extinction. So C is wrong, right? And then D, production of chemicals. I told you many chemicals, right? Nicotine, caffeine, quinine, then cardiac glycosides. All these are to be the secondary metabolites which are synthesized by the plants to protect themselves against the grazers and browsers. Okay, because plants cannot run away like animals, so they have to attain some morphological or chemical defense to protect themselves from the browsing animals. In that way, production of chemicals such as nicotine stricken by the plants are metabolic disorders. They have given metabolic disorders. They are not metabolic disorders. Simply, it will be bitter in taste, and they are said to be chemical defenses. So C and D are completely wrong. When you go for A and B, lion eating a deer, sparrow ecologically similar in being consumers. Generally, they have given consumers. They didn't mention as primary consumer or secondary consumer. Sparrow, lion, both are consumers. Deer and grain, both are said to be prey. Lion and sparrow here are predator. Predators are always consumers, right? So the statement A can be correct statement. And predator starfish Pisaster helps in maintaining. As I told you, predators, they will help in maintaining the species diversity. So A and B are correct. C and D are wrong. So the correct answer is option D. Okay. Now see the sixth one. Are you able to see the sixth one graph, ma? I gave you one graph, right? For conformers, regulators, and partial regulators. You have to just identify what is A, what is B, and what is C. Can you mention? A is regulator. Who all come under regulator? Birds, mammals, they will come under regulator. B line refers conformers. All plants and 99% of animals comes under conformers. And C is half and half. So it is called as partial regulator. Partial regulator, you know, some birds and some animals living in extreme polar region or extreme desert regions, no, they cannot sustain in the particular environmental condition beyond a limit. So the correct answer, A is regulator, B is conformer, and C is partial regulator. D is the right answer. Okay. Then seventh question. Which two of the following changes A to D usually tend to occur in the plain dwellers when they move to high altitudes? We studied altitude sickness. I gave you some point regarding to altitude sickness. Do you remember what are the points I gave you? More number of RBCs. Their hemoglobin will have lower binding affinity with oxygen. And third one is increase in breathing rate. Okay. So more number of RBCs are there. Increase in red blood size, no. It is increase in red blood cell production. Option D is correct. A statement is wrong. C, increased breathing rate. Yes, there will be increased breathing rate. Correct. Increase in thrombocyte count is wrong because there will be no. What is thrombocyte? What is thrombocyte, students? Platelets. Okay. So it will not come. So B and C are the correct changes that occurs. And what is this? Adapting to a particular environment can be called by a term. I gave you one term. Can you tell me the answer? What is the term? What is the term that can be given for adapting to a particular environment can be called as? No, altitude sickness is only for this altitude. That is, say, altitude sickness is the problem. It is the disorder. I am asking you, if you are moving to a new environment, there your body is getting adapted to the environment, how can you call that particular term? Adaptation? No. No, I gave you one term. You don't remember? Acclimatization. Okay. ACCLIMATIZATION. Acclimatization. Okay. So acclimatization means adapting to a particular environment by undergoing some physiological adaptation inside our body. Got it? So for question number 7, option A is the right answer. Yes. Yeah. Now see the eighth question, students. Which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? Stratification, natality, mortality, sex ratio. Which one of the following is one of the characteristics of a biological community? Stratification, natality, mortality, sex ratio. Biological community. See, you can select the option by odd one out. Odd one out can be the easy way for selecting the answer for this question, because you didn't study what are the characteristics of biological community, but you know what are the attributes of population. Okay, natality, birth rate is an attribute of population. Mortality, death rate is an attribute. Sex ratio is also an attribute. So B, C, D, they belong to one group. Out of this group is stratification. So stratification is the answer. Okay, so it is said to be one of the characteristics of a biological community. So for question number A is the answer. Now ninth question. Consider the following statement A to D, each with one or two blanks. Now you have to fill the blanks and you have to say which is the correct one. Please try it. Deers go into dash during winter to dash cold weather. A conical age pyramid with a broad base represents dash human population. A wasp pollinating a fig flower is an example of dash. An area with high level of species richness is known as dash. All these things we have studied. Now you can find out the answer for this question. Please think a little, you can get the answer. Okay, so shall I tell? Bears, polar bears go into what? Winter sleep. Winter sleep is called as hibernation, right? See, in the first option itself, you can go for the answer, because with one, hibernation is only there in only one option, D option, right? Then the correct answer is this one. Anyways, we'll check out other answers. To dash cold weather, to escape from the cold weather. That is what we call it as escape from place. Okay. Second one, a conical H pyramid with a broad base represents. Okay, triangular shaped pyramid represents what type of population? Expanding or declining or stable? Expanding population. So 3 is expanding. A wasp pollinating a fig flower is an example of. This is not there, but you know the answer. What is the fourth option should come? Wasp pollinating a fig flower. For what we studied? Under mutualism, we studied this example for co-evolution. Okay, mutualism or co-evolution, but it is not there. An area with a high level of species richness is known as hotspot, biodiversity hotspot. You will study in this chapter, biodiversity chapter, you will study about this. Anyways, by using this hibernation, you can go for the option D. D is the right answer. Okay. Yes, 10th question. See the 10th question. A population, the logistic population growth is expressed by the equation. I gave you equation for logistic population growth, which is the correct answer. dn by dt is equal to rn into k minus n by k. It is there in option B. B is the right answer for this question. Okay. Next one, consider the following 4 conditions and select the correct pair of them as adaptation to environment in desert lizards. First one, burrowing in soil to escape high temperature. Losing heat rapidly from the body during high temperature, basking in sun when temperature is low, insulating body due to thick fatty dermis. Yeah, see, 11th question is here. You have to see the correct pair of adaptation to environment in desert lizards. You know, desert lizards, I gave you some adaptations followed by desert lizards. Okay, see the first one, burrowing in soil to escape high temperature. Yes, it is correct. During daytime, if it is so much of heat is there, these desert lizards will go and burrow in the soil. Losing heat rapidly from the body during high temperature. Basking in sun when temperature is low. Yes, this also we discussed, right? Insulating body, and B and D, no, they are said to be the organisms for polar regions, living in polar region. A and C are correct. So the correct answer is option A. Okay. Fine. So now the 12th question, see the pyramid and then tell me what type of pyramid it is, what it is indicating. Pre-reproductive, reproductive, post-reproductive. You just draw this graph. I gave you 3 different shapes of pyramid: triangular shape, bell shape, and urn shape. Tell me what age, what pyramid it is representing. Can you find out what is the shape of the pyramid? What shape it is? Tell me, triangular shape or bell shape or urn shape? Bell shape. It is bell shaped pyramid. It is urn shaped pyramid, ma. Can see if you draw this shape, what shape you will get? You just connect this one. Okay. Draw one line from here to here. Again from here to here. Then this. Then this. Then this. It will be a urn shape. Urn shape represents what type of population? Declining population. Option B is the right answer. Okay. Then question number 13. Which one of the following is categorized as a parasite in true sense? The first one, human fetus developing inside the uterus draws nourishment from the mother. Is it a parasite? No. Head louse living on the human scalp as well as laying eggs on the human hair. Yes, it is a parasite. It is an example of ectoparasite. The cuckoo lays its eggs in crow's nest. It is a parasite, but it is a brood parasitism. Okay. Yes. Then the female Anopheles bite and suck blood from human. I told you mosquitoes are not parasites because they are taking only food and not the accommodation. Okay, so they are not staying in our body. So the correct exact true sense of parasite is option B, because lice will take food and it will also derive shelter. At the same time, it can also causes disease. Okay, all the characteristics of parasites are present in option B. You can say cuckoo, it is a brood parasitism, but in brood parasitism, it is not causing disease, right? Only this option B is said to be a parasite in its true sense. See, they have asking you categorized as a parasite in true sense. So B is the correct answer for this. Cuscuta is an example. This we studied. Cuscuta is an example of ectoparasite, right? In plants. Cuscuta, okay, I will ask you one question. This is a very important question. Cuscuta will be present as a parasite in which part of the plant? Stem, root, leaf. What is the answer? Stem, root, leaf. Tell me in which part of the plant this cuscuta will be present. It is a stem parasite and it is said to be a total stem parasite. It is not a partial. There are some stem parasites which are partial also. But cuscuta is a total stem parasite. Okay. Can you give me one example for total root parasite? Can you give me one example for total root parasite? No, you don't know any other parasitic plants other than cuscuta? Have you heard about Rafflesia? Rafflesia is a total root parasite. Okay. Okay. Tell me one partial stem parasite. Partial stem parasite. Partial stem parasite example is Loranthus. Okay. And partial root parasite, no, it is called a Santalum. Okay. Cuscuta is a total stem parasite. It is not a root parasite and it is not a partial stem parasite. Got it? Fine. Now the next question. People who have migrated from plains to area adjoining Rohtang Pass. I gave you one example, right? Rohtang Pass about 6 months back. What is the correct answer? Tell me. Just now we discussed one question similar to that altitude sickness. Have more RBC and their hemoglobin has a lower binding affinity to oxygen. Yes, of course, that is the correct answer. They are not physically fit to play games like football, wrong. Suffer from altitude sickness with symptoms like nausea, fatigue, etc. Have the usual RBC count, but then the hemoglobin has very high binding affinity to oxygen. Now you can have this option A and option C, but which one is the correct one? You'll go for option A or option C. Why not option C? Option C is also related to that, suffer from altitude sickness with symptoms like nausea, fatigue, etc. But why you are not choosing option C and going for option A? What is the reason? What is the reason, students? In the question, one clue is given. See, about 6 months back. 6 months back means now the people, they would have adopted to that particular environment. Okay. So initially they will have this altitude sickness. What we discussed in altitude sickness, first initially they will have this problem. Later the body will get physiologically adapted to the environment. 6 months back means then they would have adapted to the environment. Now their body will be having more number of RBC and hemoglobin will have lower binding affinity to oxygen and their breathing rate will be high. So option A is the right answer for this question. Okay. 16th question. A biologist studied the population of eves in a barn. He found that the average natality was 250, mortality is 240, immigration 20, emigration 30. Now tell me the net increase in population. Calculate and tell me fast. Very easy. I gave you the net population rate, how you have to calculate. Accurate population growth. Birth rate plus immigrants minus death rate plus immigrants. Okay. Then what is the answer? Give me the answer. D. Very good. 0. Because when you add birth rate is 250. Immigration is 20. 270. Again, death rate is 240. Immigration is 30. 270. 270 minus 270, answer will be 0. So what that is called as zero population growth. Zero population growth can also be called as demographic transition. Okay. Now, 17th question. A sedentary sea anemone gets attached to the shell lining of hermit crab. This association is symbiosis. Okay. In symbiosis, we discussed some examples like lichens, mycorrhiza. The sedentary sea anemone attached to the shell lining of hermit crab. That is also an example for symbiosis. So the answer is B, symbiosis. Okay. Then 18th one, just as a person moving from Delhi to Shimla to escape the heat for the duration of hot summer, thousands of migratory birds from Siberia and other extremely cold northern regions move to where? Siberian birds. I gave you this example in migration. Kiel-Ladeo National Park, where it is located. Where it is located, in which state? It is located in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Very good. Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Okay, fine. Now see the next question. Okay, actually it is hidden. Wait. Leaves become modified into spines. This is said to be one type of morphological adaptation. It will occur in desert plants, that is called as opentia. Okay, A is the answer for 19th question. Now, 20th question. The following graph depicts changes in two population A and B of herbivore in a grassy field. A possible reason for these changes. C. Now tell me what is the correct answer for this question. Can you get the answer for this question? For question number 20. Any idea, any suggestions, guesses? Option B. Yes. Any other answers? Only one student has given me option B. Any other answers? Option B again. Yes, it is correct. Option B is the right answer. Population, see, the population here it is increased, right? And here it is decreased. Then who is successful? Population B, initially it is standard, then the population has found to be increased. Population A, initially from standard it has found to be decreased. Then population B, no, it is more successful for food than population A. Very simple, ma. Just look at the graph and then you can find out the answer. Population B is successful because it has suited that particular environment is suitable for that group of organism. Then question number 21. In which of the following interaction both partners are adversely affected? Very easy. It is both partner minus will occur in predation, plus minus. Parasitism, plus minus. Mutualism, plus plus. And who will have minus competition? D. Okay. Yeah, question number 23. Gauss principle of competition exclusion states that. This is NEET 2016 paper, phase 1. Tell me the correct answer. Sorry, before that we have to see one more question. An association of individuals of different species living in the same habitat and having functional interaction is called as biotic community. Okay, it is biotic community. An association of individuals of different species living in the same habitat and having functional interaction is called as biotic community, living organisms. Okay. Now go to question number 23. What is the answer? Gauss principle of competitive exclusion. Give me answer for the question number 23. 23, what is the answer? Option D. No, wrong. A is also wrong. Please read out the question properly and then answer. Yes, very good. Option C. Option C is the right answer. I will tell you. See, read the first question. More abundant species will exclude the less abundant species through competition. Is it so? The superior species will exclude the inferior species. It is not more abundant species. Superior species means dominant species. Okay, it is not superior in the sense in competitive exclusion. It is not representing the species which is high in population. So A is wrong. Second one, competition for the same resource excludes the species having different food preference. No, they both are two closely related species. I told you in competition exclusion, two closely related species competing for the same resource, and when one is superior, it will not allow the other one to use the resource, so the inferior one will eliminate it from the environment. So B is also wrong. No two species can occupy the same niche. Niche means habitat. Okay, don't think niche is habitat indefinitely for the same limiting resource. Yes, it is correct. Larger organism exclude the smaller organism through competition. Again, it is not related to size of the organism. So A, B, D is not properly defining. C is the proper definition of Gauss exclusion principle. It is somewhat like different. Okay, the statement is not exactly given in a different meaning, but C is the correct one. Then 24. When does the growth rate of a population following the logistic model equals 0? The logistic model, you know, when it will become 0, students? When it will become 0. If n by k becomes is exactly 1, n by k is exactly 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Then anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Then Rn into 0 is 0. So answer is A. 24th question on answer is A. It is much easier for a small animal to run uphill than larger animal. Why? Smaller animal can run fastly because their BMR will be high. It is easier to carry a small body weight? No. Smaller animals where they have higher metabolic rate. That is the correct answer. The BMR, basal metabolic rate, will be higher for smaller animals. Okay. B is the right answer. 26. The primary producers of the deep sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem. So who will be the primary producers in the deep sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem? It is chemosynthetic bacteria. A. A is the right answer. Okay. 27. Wait, I'll go to the next page. 27. 27. Yes. Which of the following is correct for R selected species? R selected, you know what is R selected? R is intrinsic rate of increase. Do you remember? That is larger number of progeny with a small size. Because R selected species means here the intrinsic rate of increase will be always larger in population. But you have two options with a larger number of progeny. But you have to go for the smaller size organism, because smaller size organisms always they will occupy less area, right? Suppose if there is 1 square feet, okay, in 1 square feet, if a dog is able to, if you are keeping a dog in that particular 1 square feet, how many dog you can keep? Maximum 1, okay. But if you are placing ant in a 1 square feet, you can put some 100 to 200 ants in a particular square feet. So the rate of increased population size will be always more with small size organisms. So D, larger number of progeny with small size, is the correct answer. Okay. Then 28th question, if plus sign is assigned to beneficial interaction, minus sign to detrimental. What is detrimental? Harmful. And 0 to neutral. Then the population interaction represented by plus and minus. Plus and minus. Amensalism is minus 0. Commensalism is plus 0. Parasitism is plus minus. Mutualism is plus plus. So plus and minus, answer is C, parasitism. The principle of competitive exclusion was stated by direct answer Gauss. Mycorrhizae or examples of what? Mutualism. C. Asymptote in a logistic growth curve is obtained when? When you will get the asymptote stage? When you will get the asymptote stage? Any guess? Yeah, when K is equal to N. When K is equal to N, that is when the carrying capacity is equal to the number of individuals, then your population growth will attain the stationary phase. Okay. The last one, in a hypothetical population of 100 individual having R is equal to 0.5, what will be the population size in 6 years? That is equals E is equal to 2.72, showing the exponential rate of growth. Can you calculate and tell me what is the answer? Don't please see the options given in the answer key. You just find out and tell me how you will calculate the answer for this question. Okay, shall I tell? Okay, I will explain this question. I cannot write, no, I have to write and tell you how you can calculate. Actually, the correct answer is 2012, but I will tomorrow, I will write it in the slide and I will tell you. My pen is not writing, so I will not be able to write now. Okay, so for others, I will tell you the, what is that? One formula is there. You using that formula, you can calculate this. I will tell you the formula and you just try. NT, capital N base T. Capital N base T is equal to capital N base 0 into e power RT. Into e power RT. This is the formula for calculating this. Using this formula, if it is possible, you can calculate, but the correct answer is 2012. Wait, I will try in my slide. Okay, students, just try. Okay, I will tell you that formula for calculating that thing is, see the question properly. What is the question given? I will show you the question. Wait. See the question, in a hypothetical population of 100 individual. So n is 100. Got it? N is 100. Having R is equal to 0.5. The value of R is 0.5. Keep it in your mind. Female per year. What will be the population size in 6 years? With E is equal to 2.72. Got it? Now I will show you the calculation, how you have to calculate. Fine. So now you know N is 100, number of individuals in a 100 population. Okay. And time, two different timing were given. One is said to be initially, then after 6 years. Okay. So you use this formula, NT is equal to N naught into E power RT. This is how you have to calculate. So now what is this N naught? 100 into E. They have given the value E as 2.72. Okay. And R they have given 0.5 per, that is 0.5 female per year, and timing is 6 years. So R into T is 6. Okay. Now 100 into 2.72, 0.5 into 6 is 30, and you put decimal point 3.0, it will become 3. So 100 into 2.72 power 3, you will get the answer 2012. So this is the correct answer. This is how you got the answer for this question. You please write this formula somewhere. Actually, this is not in your syllabus, but anyways, like it is a past year paper. Yeah, in material it will be given, ma, but in NCERT it will not be there. Okay. Okay, yeah, students. Now, have you got some idea how the questions will be from this chapter? Organism. Actually, I didn't ask you very critical questions and all. Some questions are there based on your birth rate, death rate. I have given some problem questions, and then my remaining questions are just direct questions. You can directly answer just by reading the question. Okay. So don't worry. Question paper was very easy, and out of 32 questions, now we discussed now, some 4 to 5 questions are there on your Saturday NEET exam. 4 to 5 questions. I have asked you the same question from this what we discussed now. From that, I have asked you some 4 to 5 questions. Okay.